What's up, everyone? I'm 101 Chris, that's Hollywood Perry, and this is WR Weekly, your source for everything happening in the WR Pro-Am League community. We appreciate you tuning in, whether it's live from Twitch or if you're catching up on YouTube. It has been a week, so let's get you caught up. Later on in the show, we'll have ImDatMama 19 talk to us about WR's Mother's Day tournament. Happy early Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. But first, I'm really excited to introduce our first guest. We'll hop right into it. He isn't just a former 2K League champion with MYXTAPE. He's also the league's first champion, but he's also moonlighting on the side as a producer, a musician, an artist, a scout, an analyst, a host, and now content creator and future 2K League team employee, probably. Yeynotgaming, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've been together on stream. Welcome to WR Weekly. I hope that intro was good enough for you.
Oh man, I always appreciate your intros, man. Glad to be here. Appreciate y'all having me.
For sure, for sure. I mean, we'll get right into it. Perry and I are gonna kind of pepper you with questions. I guess really first, just kind of talk about what you've been up to lately, like right in terms of the 2K League and the history behind it, right? You're predominantly have been known as being part of MYXTAPE in the past, but now you've been on your content grind, right? You're as your Twitter says, like la content, right? That's your that's your alias now. So where did that kind of inspiration kind of come from?
It really started with like keeping my name fresh in people's minds, and also spotlighting a lot of the talent that's been kind of coming through the pro-am scene, like we did before me. You did the show with NAPEX, Prospect Nation, and just kind of piggybacking off of that, and started to give each of these players their own individual spotlight, whether it be like in a video or even just like popping in on their Twitch streams and saying what's up to them, or just getting to know them better through DMs. So that's just been my primary goal at the minute. Just keeping my face out there and in front of everybody's mind. So when jobs start opening up in the 2K League, it'd be hard to forget me.
Yeah, go ahead, Perry.
That's an interesting take what you just said, right? So you've been a player for what, the first 3 seasons. Do you think you're done as a player and you want to go more? You want to take that notch route and go more management side of it, or do you want to get back in season 5 as a player?
I think I'm still skilled enough to play as a player, but at the very moment, I think it's a lot more upward like opportunity in the GM or coaching role, especially if like we find out that we have a few NBA teams crossing over into the 2K League with their own esport organization. And then starting in that platform and kind of working your way into the actual NBA organization, I feel like it's more a dream. That'd be like a bigger dream, a bigger height that I can try to reach. So right now I'm just kind of shooting for the moon.
I got you.
Yeah,
that's a good take.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you obviously, I kind of tease you and kind of laugh behind the scenes all the time. You've got that championship DNA, right, to be able to bring to any organization. You're kind of doing everything right now, like from hosting on Prospect Nation, as you had said, for NAPEX, putting out video content on YouTube, appearing on other shows like the 2K Zone. You're kind of blazing a trail here for the 2K community, at least with the 2K League being so young. It's equivalent to former NBA players like, Barkley, Shaq, Kenny, Vince Carter, to use a recent example, headed to the media side of things. Is that something you knowingly tried to kind of emulate?
Yeah, so I think it's always good to have somebody who has a player perspective and then still come in and have like the perspective on the business side of things. So whenever I get into those bigger meetings, I know what it's like from the player's point of view, and like and be the voice for those guys, but at the same time still like understand like it is a business at the end of the day, and contribute in any way I can, whether it be content or whether it be any progressive moves going forward for the league, or organizations in general. So what I've been doing is trying to learn as much as I can possible, network, going through LinkedIn, talking to folks on Twitter, jumping in meetings of like pro-am organizations, chatting with some of the people who are running their own leagues and tournaments like VGC, WR, so on and so forth. Just building connections right now for both players and like the people running things, behind the screen.
Yeah, no, totally. And I mean, again, just kind of referencing those players, and you have previous players walking into coaching roles and GM roles in the NBA. So, we're eventually going to kind of see that trend and that pattern in the 2K League, no doubt. Um, you took part in the scouting rankings for NAPX during pre-draft. You're taking on more of that scout and analyst identity role post-draft through your YouTube videos. What's been, put aside you being a player, put that role aside for a little bit. What's been your favorite part of the process when it comes to scouting talent?
I think my favorite part about it is one, giving the community something new to look at. No one has ever done like a video analysis on players, like individual players, and also it's something exciting for players that are looking out to. So like I would jump in somebody's like stream. I think it was like DRIBBLE, and he was like yelling at Jar Studio. He was like, "Hey man, make sure that you can save video clips on here, man. We got Ye in here." So it was like, it's funny like to kind of get that interaction from guys and also receive feedback from some players and some of the people in the community about what they want to see going forward. I've been getting a lot of like creative ideas for some new like content segments from pro-am standpoint and from a 2K League standpoint. So it's definitely been a journey, but like the funnest part about it is really just learning new stuff on the way.
Absolutely.
For sure. Just kind of taking a small but quick step backwards. Obviously, the NBA 2K League draft took place earlier in March. What were some of your surprises? What were kind of some of the picks that you liked? Obviously, we had kind of gone through the whole process together on Prospect Nation. But what were your thoughts on that night and the outcome of it?
Yeah, I really love how the Celtics drafted. I think it was their draft to lose. They had really good spots in the first round, and picking up DLA in the second round. I think it was hard. It was going to be hard for them to really mess up the draft, and they did a really good job picking the players they got. I was also impressed the way the Pacers drafted. They took 630 with the second overall pick, and right now in scrims he's looking like rookie of the year type caliber, scoring the ball with ease, and then they put some really good veterans around them. So I think that Pacers team is going to come out better than we expected. And then, I talked about the Nets in one of my preview, but at the same time, like they got some decent pieces over there, like bringing over shots in the offseason, of course, and selecting Legit, who was a big part of that Raptors run. I think that could be another team that kind of surprises us. They had a lot of underrated talent, bringing Slade back, who missed out on season 3. And having like Faiz, who's a really good sharp, who can dribble the ball. He kind of relieve some pressure from Chalk, and Notorious is underrated lock. So Nets is another one of those teams that could surprise us. And I thought it was a really good draft overall. It wasn't that whole buddy thing that everybody was talking about. I think every team did a really good job with selecting players that fit their system or fit the players around them. And I think it's not a team that kind of stuck out as having like a bad draft. So I think it went really well.
For sure. Now, I don't know if you caught, all of it. Obviously, it's a grind whenever the WR has its finals. We recently had our Xbox and PlayStation Championship on the Xbox side of things. Obviously, it went to a Game 7, and to this day, we're kind of still talking about Johnny Red's performance in Game 7 of the finals. I don't know if you got a chance to kind of see a little bit of that or the highlights from that. But what were some of your thoughts about him as a player, without obviously giving us too much, in case you do have some content dropping in the future?
Yeah, I'm really a fan of the Johnny Red spam combo. I think they're gonna wipe before this post draft on the Xbox side of things. Johnny Red's been playing for a while. Didn't he go as Johnny Football at some point, or like some RJ Football, or was he always Johnny Red?
Perry, you're gonna have to kind of verify that for me. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I'm not sure.
I might be getting two guys confused. But
I think RJ Football's always been PlayStation.
I think you're right. I think he like went away for a while and came back. But like I'm really surprised at the way he's been playing. Post draft, he's really making the case for being like a lottery guy for next year. I think I would love to see him and Spam continue to kind of to play in pre-draft next year and kind of have that C630 kind of feel, and bring it into pre-draft when all the pros come back. But he's been going crazy right now, and I've always been a Spam advocate too as well. So if those guys keep it up, man, the world is their oyster.
Okay,
Uh,
so
okay.
with that, right? I don't know if you're gonna go to PlayStation, right, Chris? But you know we have the UPA LAN event coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in Dallas, are you gonna be in Dallas for the UPA LAN event?
I'm planning on it right now. It's just more of like logistics issues, and then
I
I'm
got you.
moving out of my apartment, so it's a whole thing. But I'm trying to.
Okay, so like you just said, you like to wipe the floor with the Xbox side.
I
So if we
think
go to
so.
PlayStation side, we got GNA, who's literally the carbon copy of that team on PlayStation. Like they have the erotic scoring from Claude and everything else. So if that matchup happens, who you taking?
Oh man, that's
Yeah, I'll put you on the spot. Because I mean they are the first two teams to qualify, right?
yeah.
See,
That's very
Perry's
tough.
you. Perry's you, Yay. Like when I was with Yay
Yeah.
on Prospect Nation, these are the kind of questions that Yay
Right.
used to always get people with.
Right. Yeah. The thing is, with in Xbox, those guys still have to run into Cook's Iverson here and again too. So I don't think it could wipe the floor. I think they have the biggest potential of doing it. I think right now, in terms of like how hot both teams are, I would have to give the upper hand to Johnny Red and Spam. But and like again, you never know.
Ooh.
It's too early to call. Too early to call.
I
Like
say,
the
I mean, yeah, you're right. It's early to call. We still got a bunch of more teams to qualify and whatnot. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. And I think the thing with DPA tournament is it's not gonna be just Xbox versus Xbox, and then we have a PlayStation versus Xbox finals. It's gonna be mix and match the entire tournament from what I understand. So it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be a wild tournament itself. But yeah, going back to go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, well, no, just to kind of touch on UPA, I'm glad you brought it up, Perry. Just get your thoughts on it, Yay, because like, the idea of a 30K LAN event on the other side of this pandemic and us getting a chance to kind of all gather in one spot and play for that kind of money and the reputation that comes with it. Just kind of talk about how huge that is for the community and how that kind of spices up things as we enter the next cycle of post-draft / pre-draft.
I love the idea. I think we're gonna start to see it grow from there, starting with 30K, and then hopefully, once you get more partners and sponsorship and more people get involved, like money wise, you'll see it expand, and then it'll kind of bring it back that like the stage that we kind of been missing here for the last 12 months, 18 months. I think the last time we saw something in person was like the Texas ticket like a couple years ago. So to have all these players, talking trash in the lobbies and getting on the stage and getting each other's face and actually having that environment back is definitely going to be one to watch, especially from whether it be scouts like prospecting these guys for the upcoming season, or players who in the league at the moment who might see potential in some of these guys, and they might have like a spot free of at point guard, and like, oh, I've seen this guy on LAN and he's crazy, so it'd be good to have him on our squad. So I think it's going to open a lot of doors for the pro-am community in itself, a lot more money at stake, and then two, for a lot of these players, and a lot of the people who aren't already in the 2K community kind of coming over now that so much money is being put up in these pots. So I think the sky is the limit, man, with this.
Totally, I agree with you. And again, hopefully you're kind of able to make it out there, and we can kind of chill and hang out and talk more 2K. But outside of that, I mean, before we let you go, man, obviously people know where to find you on Twitter at Yeynotgaming. But plug your YouTube channel and what people can kind of expect from you in the next little while.
Oh yeah, so my Twitter is Yeynotgaming, YEYNOTGAMING, and my YouTube, I don't know how to make my YouTube link like my name, so I would just search Yay space not space gaming, and what I've been doing lately is just a new segment called 5Y, just highlighting individual players, giving them a grade, some things that I've seen in their play over a couple series I've watched, whether it be tendencies, strengths, and areas of improvement. And then like going forward, I'm gonna start diving a little bit more on some 2K League content, and trying to open up some new ideas just to have some fun. Maybe do like a Hot Ones challenge with some guys in the community. So we'll see. Just stay tuned.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So
That's
before we let you go, man, I just once again on behalf of W, I just want to thank you so much for coming, bro. Like we really appreciate it. It's unspoken. You may not hear from Everlux, but trust me, I share their sentiment when I just say thank you so much for coming. We value your time. Chris, you got anything?
No, yeah, definitely. I kind of echo those sentiments as well. Obviously, yeah, very generous if you're kind of giving us your time. We'll get you out here, but I appreciate you stopping in, man. I know you're busy. Even when we first met to host Prospect Nation, you were always, so friendly and accommodating to me, and I always appreciate you for that, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
For
Always.
sure. So yeah, that's Yeynotgaming. We're gonna take a quick break here, but on the other end of that, or the other side of that, we'll have ImDatMama 19 of ImDatMama.com, just to kind of break down WR's Mother's Day tournament. On behalf of Perry, I'm one-on-one Chris, and this is WR Weekly. Keep it locked. Well, welcome back, everyone. This is WR Weekly. I'm one-on-one Chris. Of course, that's Hollywood Perry. Hopefully, you guys haven't forgotten this weekend, May 9th, is Mother's Day. And we know we haven't forgotten over here at WR with our Mother's Day tournament happening this very week. I think we're in round 2 or round 3. To help us talk about that and more is our next guest. ImDatMama 19. Thank you for coming on a WR Weekly with us this evening.
Thank you so much for inviting me and for the opportunity.
For sure, for sure. I mean, let's get right into it. 4 teams, week-long tournament. Talk about how the idea came up and kind of how it all came together.
Okay, so that's a long story, but initially it was supposed to be 16 teams. Like I love March Madness. I live for March Madness. I miss March Madness. COVID took March Madness away from me. And so in the process of all of that, I had already been thinking of something that I can do to support my son, Flacco. Y'all know Flacco. And his gaming career after season 3, after his experience with Gen G, I was truly inspired, and I just wanted to create something that would continue to enhance his career and bring light to him. And ImDatMama brand as well as the tournament all came around full circle to being, and I could tell you the steps how that happened. But it was initially supposed to be, like I said, 16 teams because I love March Madness. I wanted to create that atmosphere. We only got 4 this year, but it still works out because WR Pro-Am did it under the Swiss, scheduling. So all 4 teams will play each other, and those with the 2 top teams with the best records at the end will be in the finals on Saturday. And so that's kind of how it came about, is that I wanted to do something with and for the mothers. I was inspired by the mamas in the NBA 2K League and how supportive they were when I watched season 3, and how they were there for their kids, and how I'm there for my son, and all of that made really truly inspired me to say I want to do more, and I want to do my part to help more parents become involved in their kids' careers in this gaming world, because it's a huge world, and not just playing the game, but it's a huge world beyond that, like you right here,
Right.
doing interviews. And so, that's, I'm kind of a creative being, and that's how that evolved into, okay, let's do a tourney along with the launch of the brand, along with, the creation of it all. Let's go back to the source of what inspired me, and do a tournament, and ideally a Mother's Day tournament. Nobody's ever done it. I asked before I did it. I went to everybody and said, hey, am I stepping on anybody's toes? Can anybody help me with this? And shouts out to Black Frank White. He is who linked me with WR Pro-Am, and they took it on and said, sure, we'll do it. So that's how it came about. I'm so excited about it. Even though we only got 4 this year, next year is going to be bigger. But we're excited even about the way it's going right now. That first round was a goodie. That first round was a goodie. And so tonight is the second round they're playing. So that's where we're at with it. Sponsored by the mamas of the NBA 2K League, meaning we sponsored our teams to be in the tournament, as well as they will receive sponsored gifts from mamas so that they can give their mothers some Mother's Day gifts. ImDatMama brand will give a gift certificate to, each player on the winning team for their mothers to get ImDatMama merch. I was rambling a little bit, but there we go.
You're definitely good. This like you said, this is huge though. Like so many parents, they don't know much about the gaming world, so they can't really support their children. But for you guys to take that initiative and step up is amazing in itself. And then we have the Women in Gaming initiative going, but now
Absolutely.
we have the mama initiative going. Like get all our pros in is huge. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
And I know Flacco is happy, and I'm for this. Like I love this. Like,
Thank you so much.
Like,
You're making me blush. You are. Thank you so much. I feel the same way. I really do. I mean, I want it to all come, together and be huge together and grow together. It really is. I think so. And like I said, the mamas is what inspired me when I saw how they were supporting. I support my kids, but to see other, and I know mothers support their kids, period, but to see it, like you said, in the gaming world, I wasn't always there. I want to tell you that. I'm a lawyer, okay? So I went to college, I went to law school, I went through that whole process, but I'm also an artistic being, okay? And so I always encouraged Flacco to pursue what he loves, to do what he loves to do, but at some point I was like, but you better get this education while you're doing that, you better go to school while you're doing that, you better get a job while you're doing that, until he showed me. And I'm gonna tell you, when he showed me season 2, and he explained it all to me. And because I'm an entertainment attorney, I do know the background of streaming and the money and all of the opportunity and new things that are happening in the entertainment world with my clients, with music and all of that, and how that's really where it is at this point. And so once he explained to me that that's also the gaming world, and I was able to, put it together and understand it and the opportunities that could come to him, and seeing how much some of the guys who were already there were making in the world when you build your career, I was on board. And then he tried out, and he was in Combine season 2, and I saw him work his butt off playing 18 hours a day. I had to tell him to stop to go eat, stop to go take a shower, stop to go to use the bathroom, stop to sleep, but he played 18 hours a day, and he made that Combine, and he was selected. He qualified in all 5 positions. I know that there's very few who've done that, but so I'm going to say that about him every single time I'm on the mic or on the chat or on anything else, because I watched him do it. And it was that inspiration of seeing him pursue, his dreams to that level, because that's how I did anything that I've ever done in my life. I did it that same way, where I went all in. And so I was inspired after that. And so, that it evolved all from there.
Man, like I'm sorry to keep cutting you off. Like I'm
problem. Don't cut me off. Please stop me, because
I haven't even let Chris talk yet, because like I'm tearing up a little bit. Just listen to you talk about it, because like we've all been there. Like our parents not supporting. Like you said, they're at first they're not on board with it because they don't know. Like they're not. It's unfamiliar territory for them. And like, so like, and they don't realize that the work that we put into it to be good at this game, you know, and then, so it's like, they just feel like we're just playing the game and whatnot. So just to hear that now there's an avenue for mothers to get in, like, to, you know, it's crazy. And just to know that, like, literally, like, me and Flacco was the same person. Like, before I really started getting paid from WR, like, my mom was like, "Why are you spending so much time on this? Like, what are you getting out of this? Like, go to school, like, finish, like, get your degree, like, you know, like, okay, don't lose your job trying to play a game, like, you know, like, don't put the game first." Like, I've been there, like, I've lived that literally. So it's so inspiring to hear, like, you know, like, the mothers are on board once they see that.
Once I saw it, and then also, like I said, having the knowledge that can go somewhere. Like, I still, you know, I was a B girl. I was spinning on my head on the cardboard box on the block. You hear me? I was one of them BMX bikers who would do tricks and bend and flip and all that shit on my bike. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't curse. On my bike, forgive me. And you know, I was that girl. And so I know if I had continued, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have kept skateboarding. You know what I'm saying? Because they're making millions of dollars doing all of those kind of things that I grew up doing, and then just, you know, let go by the wayside. So I guess I applied the same mentality to it when I watched him go through that combine season 2. I was like, this is real. This is real, you know, and I'm here for it. You know, and he didn't get picked up that season, but I wasn't letting up on it. And that's kind of how ImDatMama brand was created, that, you know, he didn't get picked up that season, which absolute snub. I'm never going to stop saying that. And so after that, I was like, okay, I saw how hurt he was after that. Like, I qualified in all 5 positions. Somebody should have picked me up somewhere. And that was his whole mentality. I'm going to get chosen somewhere, somebody, if I qualify in all 5 positions. And so after that happened, and then season 3 he come around, and he still didn't get picked up. He did eventually, but he didn't get picked up from the draft. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to allow him to let his dream go by the wayside. I'm going to create something that keeps him in his world. I'm going to create something that supports him and provides an opportunity for him to make money no matter what, whether he playing in the NBA 2K league or not. He's still in that world. You know, and whether he's a player, whether he's doing interviews like you guys, whether he's coaching, because I really think my son is a player coach, hands down. And whether it's any of those things, I'm going to make something happen. And so that's how ImDatMama brand came about. At the end of season 3, let me put this out there because I've said it before, so let me get it off. You all get to hear it first. I jacked Mama I'm That Man for his beats. Y'all know what that means? I jacked Mama I'm That Man for his beats because I love Mama I'm That Man. I love him. He's my favorite player after Flacco, of course. He's my favorite player because what he brought to the game with his energy. You know, I'm not a religious person, but I love anyone who incorporates their spirituality in whatever they're doing. So when I would see him do, you know, the crucifix before every game that he played, he was doing, you know, vision boards, trying to get the team on board to do a vision board with him. He was meditating. He was doing all those things that, you know, I love to hear a young guy doing. And so I was really, truly inspired by, not to mention he's one of the best. So I took that when I saw at the end of the season that he was the first one to get his own brand under the league. I said, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's the avenue. That's it right there. No matter whether you're in the league or not, let's create something monumental where they will remember your name. And whether you're playing or not, you will be in that world. You will work in that world somehow, some way. Whether it's yourself, you're creating the avenue for yourself, or whether they bring you in. And I'm going to be on board and support it. And it literally evolved from there. I told him that day, the last day of the season 3, I told him, son, I'm that mama. And if you look at my Twitter page, that's what it said. That's my name, Son, I'm That Mama. And it evolved from there. I started thinking of what I could do with it. Okay, I'm going to create a logo. I'm going to create a brand. It evolved into that. I used a couple of the guys who in the gaming world who are some of the favorite graphic artists in the world to create the brand. And my mind just started evolving into what I could do with it. And I said, okay, I want to reach out to the mothers in the NBA 2K League because really they're who inspired me, you know. And that's how it evolved. I created a brand, and then I said, okay, I'm going to do this tournament so that I could highlight the mothers and bring attention to us because nobody has done a Mother's Day tournament yet. And so that's how it came to be.
That's awesome. And I just want to kind of quickly add, like, this is how you know an interview is going well, because you are just hitting all my questions without being asked them. So we're just knocking them out one by one. I did want to kind of quickly touch, I just have maybe one more question or two. I just want to kind of quickly touch on I know for myself, when I first got into covering the 2K League, one of the things I eventually kind of realized, actually not eventually, quickly realized, is how strong of a support system that the players have when it comes to parents, right? There's a very prominent social media presence on Twitter, especially. When it comes to, you know, being a part of that community, what are something that future parents of future 2K League players should maybe know about, or maybe they might kind of get caught off guard when their child first gets drafted into the league? Like, maybe speak from your experience. What kind of caught you off guard, and what advice do you have for future parents, again, of future players coming into the league?
I'm wondering what you mean by, you know, caught off guard by.
I mean, like, you know, you find out that your child gets drafted. What are some of the things that maybe you didn't expect that ended up being a part of the process, whether it was the traveling or the ups and downs that come with being a professional esport player, anything like that? Did anything kind of catch you off guard, or maybe you're like, I didn't know that was part of the process?
I wasn't really caught off guard about the process because you know, they all have to get and sign a contract with the NBA 2K League. And so I'm my son's attorney, and I received the contract. So I know, you know, all of that part of it and what to expect from it. I think it's more so, it probably equates to like you're sending your child off to college for the first time.
Right.
And you go drop them off at the dorms, and you're like, okay, what is this? And what's going on? And releasing them, you know, for the first time on their own, you know, or to others, basically. And that's kind of what it was. We dropped them off. We expected it all because we were ready for it. We didn't know how it was coming, but we knew it was coming. It's crazy. We didn't know how it was coming, but we knew it was coming. In fact, his Flacco's girlfriend had bought him some shoes, some Nikes that had season 4 on the back of the Nike, on the side of it, basically. And he got called up season 3.5, basically. So in the middle of that, I told her that she put it out there that he's going to get called up. And as soon as she gave him the shoes, he got called up. So it was really something. But more of just wondering how things we weren't able to see because he was in, you know, LA. So we weren't able to see where he was living and how he was living. So maybe wondering about how that's going. He's gonna be real, you know, he's not gonna complain very much. We're extremely different people on a lot of, he's more calmer and nicer than I am. And so things that I would be bothered by, he's not gonna be bothered by. So, you know, the living arrangement or just bringing him into a situation halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, you know, and we all know how that could be. It's like the new kid joining the team, and you all already have a rapport with each other. You all already, you know, and so now here comes this guy joining the team, and just his adjustment in our conversations with dealing with that. And so I didn't get too much into it, even though I'm that mama on the other end, like, okay, don't let him mistreat you, don't let this happen, or I'll come for him, you know. I had to, you know, defer to him. This gonna be okay. He's a young man, he can handle it or whatever. So just hearing him have to go through the experience of being the new guy and having to have that experience. But overall, he truly enjoyed the whole experience. So we don't regret any of it. And like I said, it was the inspiration for ImDatMama. Basically, I will not leave you. I'll say this. A Bob Marley song says, "Not one of my seeds shall sit on the sidewalk and beg bread." That's what that happened. That's how that happened. Is that I don't care whether you're in that league or not. I do want you in there because I know you want to be in there, but I won't leave you stranded. I'm going to make something happen for you. I'm going to pay.
That's incredible. That's absolutely.
You got me ready to kind of run through a wall for you. So like, I'm ready.
I literally just tweeted out, like, I'm in awe. Like, that's truly incredible.
I'm ready. Perry, did you have any other final thoughts or questions?
No, I just want to say thank you so much
Thank you
for joining today, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Mama. It's even if they don't say it, it's appreciated so much. Like, I appreciate the moms out there in the community. So I know that your children do. So I just want to say, keep going on. This is to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day to you guys.
Thank you. Now you are two of my children now. Yeah, but so y'all know. I got y'all. Nobody can mess with y'all. You hear me?
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Just a quick recap here. Obviously, the 4 teams that are taking part in this tournament. We've got Team Mama Slay, represented by ADB Pro-Am, Team Mama Moot, aka Throwdown, our Team Throwdown. Obviously, we've got Team Mama Drizz. They're represented by Tunnel Vision. Then, of course, Team Mama Flacco, brought to you by ENG2K. Obviously, round 2 is coming up. I know in round 1, Tunnel Vision and your team there at ENG2K took the opening win. So it's exciting. We'll be excited to see how it plays out.
Their game tonight. I do know it's at 10 o'clock for Tunnel Vision and ENG. I haven't checked yet for Throwdown and ADB. But both of them are tonight, and so it's coming up. I also want to say this before I go. Under ImDatMama brand, we created some Flacco, his own brand that's coming very soon. We're using some of his logos that he uses on his stream, but I also came up with a tee that I know the community is going to love. It's called Flacco Munities. And you'll all see what it means when I say that. But basically, it's kind of incorporating all the things that they say when they're playing the game, like "I got badge" and so on and so forth, and stuff that I had no clue what the hell they're saying, you know. But I used to write it all down, like, "Oh my gosh, this will be great!" And I just came up with an idea to put out, you know, one tee for him under his own name. That's going to be awesome. So that's coming soon. And then on Saturday, we're having our ImDatMama brand virtual launch party. It's going to be on Facebook, on Twitch, and the Zoom room, where we'll have different Zoom rooms with models. We'll have me on the heat press doing custom-made orders. We'll have Flacco in his gaming room, talking about gaming in the world, you know, in the gaming world and all the opportunities. And then immediately following the virtual launch party is the final of the tournament.
Incredible.
So, all right.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Yeah, I can't.
Thank
I
you
don't
so
have any
much.
other words for it.
It's all right.
Yeah, I
Thank you
absolutely.
so much.
I absolutely love what you're putting together, what you've already put together, and obviously helping play a pivotal role in putting together the WR Mother's Day tournament. Obviously, again, happy Mother's Day to you, and
Thank
thank
you.
you for coming onto the show.
Thank
Again,
you.
that's ImDatMama. We'll provide further updates of the final rounds of the Mother's Day tournament in the next couple days. Again, please check out and support ImDatMama.com. We're going to finish this off with one final quick break. But on the other end, Perry and myself will wrap things up on this week's episode of WR Weekly. Keep it locked.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Over the years, we've seen leagues scamming you out of money, not paying out as advertised, operating illegally, and most importantly, not doing their part to promote you and your team when you've accomplished a feat. You win and it does move your draft stock a bit. We're working together to bring an official structure to the Pro-Am community called the UPA, Unified Pro-Am Association. We will have UPA certified leagues. Here are the benefits of playing in a UPA certified league. First, UPA certified leagues offer guaranteed payouts as advertised. WR, MPBA, and later Prestige Area and their affiliate leagues have served the community since 2015. We've seen dozens of leagues create a Twitter, provide a Cash App, and disappear overnight. UPA certified leagues are safe.
There's no reason you should have to play 3 or more finals in one night. The UPA will take into consideration for all NBA 2K League qualifying events. There may be overlap, but we will do what we can to limit it. There is often confusion among league rules. The UPA will have a clear set of rules across the board. Also, you cheat in one, you will be banned from them all. The risk to cheat is higher than ever. This will create a way safer and cleaner competitive Pro-Am experience.
UPA certified leagues offer the most direct connection to the next level. When you play in UPA leagues and tournaments, it's guaranteed you will have the attention of scouts, coaches, and GMs at the next level.
UPA certified leagues have zero tolerance for discrimination based on race, gender, national origin, religion, or sexual orientation. Anyone in violation will be brought before a council and require sensitivity training or face a lifetime ban from all UPA leagues.
Last, we've heard your ideas to have one unified national Pro-Am champion, and we're answering the call. That's right, one true amateur champion. Beginning in the post-draft, you'll only be able to earn entry into the National Pro-Am Championship from events hosted by UPA certified leagues. Winners of these events will automatically qualify for the National Championship Tournament, and at-large bids will be awarded based on NAP's innovative legacy leaderboard scoring system, applied only to UPA leagues.
Welcome back, everybody. This is WR Weekly. I'm one-on-one Chris. That's Perry. Before we sign off, we want to just say a quick thank you to both our guests, Yeynotgaming and ImDatMama. A really, really solid show because of those two guests, Perry.
Yeah, absolutely. Both interviews were incredible. Got insight on both parties. We are in an amazing state of it's an amazing state.
For sure. And obviously, we're in this little bit of a purgatory / lull, but just around the corner, so much going on, right? We have PS5 season 30, Xbox season 20, basically the WR 50th season anniversary. There's only a couple more days for you to register. So if you haven't already, if you're looking for that, 1 second last piece, make sure you're sending out those posts to free agents. Get your team locked in, because again, this is your last chance, at least on the WR side of things, to qualify for the 30K UPA LAN event, Perry.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then of course, right, we have WR Select, our draft league here. We're still looking for a few more Xbox GMs, right? On the Xbox side of things. If you guys want to, take a shot at putting and crafting a team together to go on a championship run, obviously we'd love to kind of have you. There's a process put in place. We'll get you put through that process. But again, WR Select, the Kokies and LA Traffic will be defending their titles, and we're excited to see how it all plays out.
the combine starts in 2 days on May 7th. So, yeah, we're looking for those 2 GMs to come fill those teams. Combine starts in 2 days.
Yep, a lot of exciting things, and obviously with those events, we'll be following along here at WR Weekly every Wednesday. Again, a quick thank you to Ye and ImDatMama. Thank you to you guys for tuning in, whether it's live on Twitch or you're catching up on YouTube. On behalf of Perry, I'm 101 Chris. This was WR Weekly, and we'll see you next week.